Here's a pretty odd question for you guys. What do you get if you mix together the musical style of Fall Out Boy with the stage presence and flair of musical theatre and Broadway, and maybe just add a dash of steampunk or burlesque dancers and like circus performers in there, and you get the idea. But that's what Panic at the Disco is. A band that combines all the traits of theatre kids and music into one. Being one of the first emo bands before its explosion in 2006 after the Black Parade's release, the band's influences were more on Fall Out Boy's style and sound at the time. This is all before Corktree came out. Panic at the Disco was formed by lead, guitarist and backing vocalist Ryan Ross. Ryan, having written the album at 17, formed the band in high school with drummer Spencer Smith and bassist Brent Wilson. Originally the band was a cover band. Brendon Urie, the vocalist, was recruited after the band started to make demos. The album had its original recording process began in June 2005, right after the group graduated from high school. The band didn't have much time to put together their debut. In this video I will be starting a new series, an analysis of. In today's video we will be analysing Panic at the Disco's claim to fame, afeveryoucantsweatout. This is an analysis of afeveryoucantsweatout. First track, Introduction, is more of a prologue that starts the album's first act. Did I mention that? Panic's first album is split into two parts. The first part, tracks 1 to 7, is more electronic rock and in a more Fall Out Boy style. Tracks 8 to 20 are in a more 1920s style. Get to that soon. The introduction is short, 38 seconds to be exact, but that then transitions into track
2. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present a picturesque score of Passing Fancy.
Track 2, the only difference between a Martyrdom and Suicide's press coverage, a long title. I think that is the most consistent thing in the album, the long ass song titles. Now back to the analysis.
Sit tight, I'm gonna need you to keep time. Come on, just snap, snap, snap your fingers for me. Good, good, now we're making some progress. Come on, just tap, tap, tap your toes to the beat. And I believe this may call for a proper introduction. Well, don't you see? I'm the narrator and this is just a prologue.
Ryan Ross criticises artists who make music that seem to be controversial only to gain fame.
Swear to shake it up if you swear to listen, or we're still so young, desperate for attention. I aim to be your eyes, trophy boys, trophy wives.
This line of the chorus tells us that the people, the music industry, is merely self-absorbed fame mongers. They swear to shake it up in social norms, as long as the fans swear to listen.
Applause, applause, no wait, dear studio audience, I've an announcement to make. It seems the artists these days are not who you think, so we'll pick back up on that on another page.
The title could also be interpreted as a criticism of the media's tendency to fixate on tragedies of celebrities, whilst almost completely ignoring the deaths of anyone they cannot use for their own gain and get fame. Whether a person's death is deemed important or not is independent of that person's personal merit, the reason they died, or even how many people know of the death. All that matters now is the media tells you to care about it, until you're forced into making a statement about it. London Beckoned songs written by machines. The whole title could be interpreted as about AI, especially now in the modern day, but the song is about critics and people disproving Panic. Often labels and critics really push bands to move quickly and not stay true to themselves. Panic instead doesn't want to be immediately judged for their different style and wants people to hear them out, so they did.
Stop stalling, make a name for yourself, or you better put the pen and paper, chime in way out. If you talk, you better walk, you better back your shit up with more than good hooks while you're all under the gun.
This is the pressure from the record label to make a good album after being impressed by the demos.
It's time for us to take a chance. Panic beat the press. It's time for us to take a chance. It's time for us.
and wrote the lyric about Panic taking on a chance after being signed to Patrick Stump's of Fall Out Boy's record label. Says how Panic had been injected into fame so early to the point of almost perverting themselves to keep the new norm they must now fit in.
Just for the record, the weather today is slightly sarcastic with a good chance of A, indifference, and B, disinterest in what the critics say.
Bridge sort of reflects on how the critics still tend to criticise their work, but how they don't care as they are far too gone into fame to get back to where they were before being signed. The fourth track, Nails for Breakfast, Tacks for Snacks, is about drug abuse and alcoholism. It was written by Ryan Ross's father's troubles with alcohol and the immense impact it had on him.
Watch your mouth, because your speech is slurred enough that you just might swallow your tongue. I'm sure you would want to give up the ghost with just a little more poise than that.
First, shares how alcoholism can perceive you in the public as a person with horrible slurred speech.
Was it God who chokes in these situations? Running late, oh no, he called in. Or was it God who chokes in these situations? Running late, oh no, he called in.
The chorus is when the alcohol abuser finally calls him for help with the addiction but fails.
Hospices, a relaxing weekend getaway where you're a cut above all the rest. Sick and sad patients on first name basis with all the top physicians.
Chorus shows how alcohol can lead to going to a hospice, a place where you go for when the doctors can no longer prescribe you, and how long the visit can be.
Prescribe pills to offset the shakes, to offset the pills. You know you should take it a day at a time.
Medications and substance abuse can also go along with alcoholism and how they can be used to cure alcohol addiction, but could also lead to something so much worse.
That's when you stutter something profound to the support on the line, and with the way you've been talking, every word gets you a step closer to hell.
One verse could imply that someone called AA and tried to treat the addiction but failed as it ended up in a rage of pills and more alcohol being consumed.
I am alone in this bed, house and head, and she never fixes this, but at least I am alone in this bed. Ooh, she never fixes this, but at least
She describes how Ryan felt isolated and scared by his father. The haunted he feels as he's tried not to go near alcohol due to these traumatic experiences. The chorus repeats.
The hospice is a relaxing weekend getaway where you're a cut above all the rest. Sick and sad patients on first name basis with all the top physicians.
Next song, track 5, Camisado, is again about the more damaging side of Ryan Ross's dad's alcoholic affair, if you will.
The IV and your hospital bed. This was no accident, this was a therapeutic chain of events.
Lyrics can talk about how substance abuse, as all stated before, can end with someone in critical condition needing an IV, pain medications, to help someone get back to health. Especially after an alcoholic episode, and how a hospital's bed is used to relive the pain from the episode, and how the therapeutic chain of events is more violent clash, clinks, and messy drinking.
This is the scent of its skin on a linoleum floor. This is the scent of quarantine wings in a hospital. It's not so pleasant and it's not so conventional. It sure as hell ain't normal, but we deal. The anesthetic never set in, and I'm wondering where the apathy and urgency is that I thought I found. It's not so pleasant and it's not so conventional. It sure as hell ain't normal, but we deal.
Assuming the consumption of alcohol and the consequences of violent assaults that happen every time with it, we can make the assumption that Ryan spent most of his time in a hospital, his dad almost at the brink of dying. The pleasant and conventional side of the story is how often the more you visit a place like a hospital often, it can get better. This could all infer on how anaesthetics don't work to the point of phoning in urgency and apathy into someone. But sit back, relapse again line could infer and show how anaesthetics can heal pain, leaving the patient to relax as it's all they can do.
Can't take the kid from the fight, take the fight from the kid. Sit back, relax again. Can't take the kid from the fight, take the fight from the kid. Just sit back, just sit back.
Our chorus can infer to how alcoholics often abuse their kids, partners or other people. Under a substance as strong as alcohol, often these situations can lead to a fight between sober and drunk, where the Ryan's family's father took the fight to him instead of the other way around. The just sit back line appears again, repeating the theme of sitting back as there's nothing you can do.
Your regular decorated emergency. Your regular decorated emergency.
The decorated emergency being Ryan's father and how often these hospital visits can occur due to the heavy non-stop drinking. The phrase repeats twice to call out Ryan's father in a fit of rage by Ryan.
Your regular decorated emergency. The bruises and contusions will remind me what you did when you wake. You were your place and stop the ICUs, all of them. Camera got you causing a commotion on the gurney again.
Talk about how a commotion can happen when an alcoholic or any addict is sent away from the thing they're addicted to. The bruises and contusions will remind what you do to await her if it's more Ryan speaking how his father will one day realise that the abuse of substance has made Ryan terrified of alcohol, fearing what happens to his father may happen to him. The rest of the song repeats the same chorus. Time to Dance is based on a book about a model who gets in a tragic accident and begs for their life story to be told. The song describes the book's story in a way. The song could also be a synonym for teenagers in the 2000s.
Well, she's not bullying on the ballroom floor just for the attention, 'cause that's just ridiculous. Well, she sure is gonna get it. Here's the setting, fashion magazines line the walls now. The walls line the bullet
It
holes.
is how teenage holes in the 2000s line their walls with posters of the bands they like, and somehow it would or did cover holes, or bullet holes as Panic calls it.
Have some composure, where is your posture? Oh no, no, you're pulling the trigger, oh wrong. Have some composure, where is your posture? Oh no, no, you're pulling the trigger, oh wrong.
This could be how most parents ask their kids to have straight posture or compose themselves. The trigger being pulled could be how most young people cut their life short because of the stress about other people, demanding so much of them to the point of not caring anymore.
Give me malice, give me your attention. Give me malice, baby, give me a break. When I say shotgun, you say wedding. Shotgun wedding.
The "give me a break" line could be interpreted as a teenager begging for the demands to stop. In the book the song is based on, it could be the model begging for the day to end and to give her a break. The shotgun and the wedding part could be how in the novel the model shotguns someone at her own wedding.
Well, she didn't choose this role, but she'll play it and make it sincere, so you cry. Give me a break. Well, they believe it from the tears in the teeth, right down to the blood at her feet. Boys will be boys, hiding in estrogen and wearing aubergine dreams. Give me a break.
Boys will be boys lyric can be interpreted as teenagers are just straight up mean to people. The boys could also be a metaphor for public shaming or just peer pressure embarrassment. It probably also was meant to be from someone who was transphobic.
Come on, this is screaming photo up. Come on, this is screaming photo up.
Bridge goes back to the model side of the story and how wherever the model goes is considered a photo op for publicity. The end of the song repeats the same chorus. 7, shortened to Lying is the Most Fun, is a song about teen relationships that crosses the impossibly fine line between cockiness and raging insecurity.
Is it still me that makes you sweat? Am I who you think about in bed? When the lights are dim and your hands are shaking as you're sliding off your dress, think of what you did and how I hope to God he was worth it. When the lights are dim and your heart is racing as your fingers touch your skin.
It's about Ryan Ross and how his previous partner had cheated on him.
Let's get these teen hearts beating faster, faster!
The chorus shows how Ryan sees the relationship as just teen hearts and how cheating doesn't even matter anymore, as it was just a common mistake made in a relationship.
So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold all over close? So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold all over close?
A rage-filled spite about how Ryan feels of how the relationship was. Bitter.
So I guess we're back to us, so cameraman swing the focus, in case I lost my train of thought, where was it that we last left off?
This describes how he feels after he picked up the relationship after the cheating started, and he wants people to focus on the relationship more than the thing that ended it.
Now I do recall we were just getting to the part where the shock sets in and the stomach acid finds a new way to make you get sick. I hope you didn't expect to get all of the attention. Let's not get selfish, did you really think I'd let you kill this chorus?
Versus Ryan led by a blinding rage, going back to arguing against the fleeting relationship, now in a sense of denial. 8, Intermission, is another short track. At 2 minutes, it is a transition between the first act, afeveryoucantsweatout, and the second act. It builds up in piano arrangements until its transition into but it's better if you do. The song doesn't really have a meaning.
Now I'm of consenting age to be forgetting you in a cabaret somewhere downtown where a burlesque queen may even ask my name as she sheds her skin on stage. I'm seated and sweating to a dance song on the club's PA. The strip joint veteran sits to away, smirking between dignified tips of his dignified peach and lime daiquiri.
The verse is about trying to forget your problems by going to a joint, and how in this song, the problem is an ex-girlfriend, and how exposing yourself in these clubs are considered to be distasteful and wrong to some people.
And isn't this exactly where you'd like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Praying for love in a lap dance and banging naivety. Oh, isn't this exactly where you'd like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Praying for love in a lap dance and banging naivety.
Chorus is about most people, or in this case, the protagonist of the song, paying in naivety and trying to forget his problems in the ex-girlfriend in question.
Well, I'm afraid that I'm infected and I wouldn't be caught dead in this place. Well, I'm afraid that that's right. Well, I'm infected and I wouldn't be caught dead in this place.
You can infer how most people wouldn't want to be found in clubs like this for obvious reasons. The song ends with a transition into the next song.
And isn't this exactly where you'd like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Praying for love in a lap dance and banging naivety. Oh, isn't this exactly where you'd like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Praying for love in a lap dance and banging naivety. Praying for love and banging naivety. Praying for love and banging naivety, oh.
The track, I Write Sins Like Tragedies, is the band's most popular track. The song is about Ryan's breakup, again, and it's about Brendon's religious views as well.
Oh, well imagine, as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, no I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says a bridesmaid to a waiter. Yes, but what a shame the poor groom's bride is all.
This verse shows the song is once again about Ryan's breakup and how he sees that this may ruin his life and how she may have also well been what the song says,
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of...
Or shows how Ryan's used the door in this case as the closing of the relationship. Now he tries to face the relationship before closing it permanently.
Well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne. Oh, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne.
Second verse infers that Ryan sees the relationship as called off and how he should celebrate that it's over. Which should he? Track 11, I Constantly Thank God for Esteban, is a statement about hypocrites and liars, disguised as a criticism of religion.
Give us this day our daily dose of faux affliction. Forgive our sins, forged at the pulpit with forked tongue, selling faux sermons. 'Cause I am a new wave gospel sharp, and you'll be thy witness. So gentlemen, if you're gonna preach, for God's sakes, preach with conviction.
This verse shows how religion tries to force people to repent and how conviction is used to threaten the masses.
Here comes the band, whoa, the conductor is beckoning. Come, congregation, let's sing it like you mean it. No, don't you get it now, don't you move. Here comes the band, whoa, the conductor is beckoning. Come, congregation, let's sing it like you mean it. No, don't you get it now, don't you move.
Shows how religion can conduct people into believing their faith and views on religious teachings. Ryan could also be referred to the church as the band, making it seem unprofessional, a little childish, and perhaps even entirely staged. The conductor would most likely be the lead priest, and the congregation would most likely be the church's followers. By telling the congregation to sing it like they mean it, he is insinuating that their faith in the church is legitimate, and that they need to sell their religion to the public if they want to be taken seriously.
Just stay where I can see you. Douse the lights! We sure are in for a show tonight.
This chorus infers that the church acts as though they are the spitting image of thoughtfulness, when in reality, they're anything but.
In this little number we're graced by two displays of character. We've got the gunslinger extraordinaire, walking contradiction. And I for one can see no blood from the heart and the wrist you allegedly slit. And I for one won't stand for this. If the scene were a parish, you'd all be condemned.
In this line, the narrator is pointing out the contrast between people's true personalities and the way they're trying to portray themselves for attention and acceptance in religion. They act as if they are someone with talent and skill that is worthy of praise. In reality, though, they are a different person entirely, and are thus a walking contradiction, as the public persona that they try and maintain contrasts with their true personality, which can't be discarded. Track 12, shortened to There's a Reason These Tables Are Numbered, is about Ryan trying to sabotage a dinner.
Please leave all overcoats, canes, and top hats with the doorman. From that moment you'll be out of place and under duress. I'm wrecking this evening already and loving every minute of it, ruining this banquet for the mildly inspiring end.
places of wealthy descent have doormen, and by so, Ryan uses them to strip the other guests of their fancy attire, making him the most well presented.
When you're in black slacks with accentuating off-white pinstripes, whoa, everything goes according to plan.
Again, Ryan's plan is working, to make himself look the most professional and presentable out of everyone else.
I'm the new cancer, never look better, you can't stand it. Because you say so under your breath to your reading lips. When did he get all confident? Haven't you heard that? I'm the new cancer, never look better, and you can't stand it.
It infers how Ryan is more confident and comfortable as everyone else is disoriented, out of place and underdressed. And the new cancer is how it's spreading among people like a bee, with constant attention drawn to Ryan.
Next is a trip to the ladies' room in vain, and I bet you just can't keep up with fashionistas. And tonight you are a whispering campaign. I bet to them your name is cheap. I bet to them you look like
Part of the second chorus shows how the attendants are criticising and whispering about the underdressed people, and how confident Ryan seems to be. Now the antagonist of the song is trying to get her/himself to look better.
Talk to the mirror, oh, choke back tears, and keep telling yourself that I'm a diva. Oh, and the smoke's in that cigarette box on the table, they just so happen to be laced with nitroglycerin.
The mirror line can refer how self-talk can boost a person's ego, making them feel better about themselves. The later with nitroglycerin line is about how nitroglycerin is a medical drug that becomes deadly explosive in liquid form. It can also have a dangerous reaction to alcohol. Ryan's supposedly trying to engage some sort of fear into people with this.
And I know, it just doesn't feel like a night out with no one sizing you up. I've never been so surreptitious, so of course I'll be distracted when I spike the punch!
Bassist sees Ryan trying to almost say he's suspicious and lace the drinks, and how he's distracting everyone, making everyone else feel underpowered and underdressed. The final track, Build God Then We'll Talk, is about the dark secrets behind work-related scandals and affairs, and how often they are done in workplaces.
It's these substandard motels on the la corner of 4th and Fremont. Straight appealing only 'cause they're just that unappealing. Any practiced Catholic would cross themselves upon entering. The rooms have a hint of asbestos and maybe just a dash of formaldehyde, and the habit of decomposing right before your very eyes.
Verse sets the scene of cheap motels on Fremont Street, a Las Vegas stripped area. The shooting begins between two employees as they try to keep it a secret and have, as a habit of the decomposing line suggests, hiding it.
Along with the people inside, what a wonderful caricature of intimacy inside. What a wonderful caricature of intimacy.
A caricature is a picture, description, or imitation of a person or thing in which certain striking characteristics are exaggerated to create a comic or grotesque effect. The effect in question is on the relationship that involves adultery.
Tonight 10-inch range from a lawyer and a virgin, sister rising with a rosary tucked inside her lingerie. She's getting a job at the firm come Monday. The missus will stay with the cheating attorney. Moonlighting aside, she really needs this money. A wonderful caricature of intimacy. Yeah.
The verse reflects on how the affair has spread to the point of giving the woman in this relationship, the virgin, a job, so the affair can continue inside of a business-related institute.
And not to mention the constable and his proposition for that virgin, yes, the one the lawyer met with on strictly business. As he said to the missus, well, only hours before, after he had left, she was fixing her face in a compact. There was a terrible crash. There was a terrible crash. Between her and the bed, she spilled her purse and her bag, and held the purse of a different kind, along with the people inside.
The third verse shows how the strictly business or more affairs and scandals are taking place, and how the lawyer tries to be covering up by calling it business.
There are no raindrops on roses and girls in white dresses. It's sleeping with roaches and taking baths. Shade of the sheets and before all the stains, and a few more of your least favorite things. Raindrops on roses and girls in white dresses. It's sleeping with roaches and taking baths. Shade of the sheets and before all the stains, and a few more of your least favorite things.
Here's a twist on my favourite things from the 1965 movie The Sound of Music, but changed to be about adult topics and affairs. The bridge shows how the shades of the sheets are the affair being hidden between the sheets. The outro reflects the same thing.
Raindrops on roses and girls in white dresses. It's sleeping with roaches and taking baths. Shades of the sheets and before all the stains, and a few more of your least favorite things. Raindrops on roses and the girls in white dresses, and the sleeping with the roaches and the taking baths. Shades of the sheets and before all the stains, and a few more of your least favorite things.
Very quickly, I'll cover the differences between the live versions and studio versions. Live in Denver, that was released with the special edition of afeveryoucantsweatout in 2007, is a perfect example of this. The first change is that Ryan joins Brendon and does backing vocals on if most every single song. Most songs also has an extended intro, such as London Beckoned Songs About Machines has a piano intro along with Ryan's vocals. Lying is the most fun also has an extended God for Esteban is completely different than the studio version with Brendon on piano, Ryan playing banjo, and Spencer playing an acoustic guitar. And There's a Reason These Tables Are Numbered has an instrumental break in between the second verse. The band also covered two songs, Karma Police by Radiohead.
Thank you. This next song is by a band called Radiohead. It's entitled Karma Police. entitled Tonight Tonight. Time at all. You can never ever leave without leaving a piece of youth.
The band also brings in stage dances during some of the songs like Camisado and There's a Reason These Tables Are Numbered.
This is the Saturday morning, take me to the hospital. So it's so pleasant and it's not too conventional. Sure it's only normal, but we deal. The other side, never started in a morning ring man. Love the theater, just see us and I thought I found it. It's not so pleasant and it's not too conventional. Sure it's only normal, but we deal. Just sit back and relax. Just sit back and relax again. Can't take the gain from the vibe, take the vibe from the key. Sit back and relax again.
Brendon switches between instruments, playing guitar and Camisado, and he nails for breakfast like snacks. His piano and longer than Beckoned songs written by machines, writing is the most fun, and it's better if you do. And There's a Reason These Tables Are Numbered. He does vocals for us this song.
This is a Saturday skin, I'm only a four. It's a Saturday morning, take me to the hospital. It's not so pleasant and it's not too conventional. Sure it's only normal, we deal. The other side, never started, I wanna ring my love the theater, just see us and I thought I found it. It's not so pleasant and it's not too conventional. Sure it's only normal, we deal.
And that's the analysis. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. So enjoy these funny video I found a panic for the outro. So bye.
Hey, we're Panic at the Disco and you're watching Rage. We don't give a fart knocker.
Hey, I'm hosting the show along with my friends here, Panic at the Disco. You're watching Rage.
We'll eat your flesh. Fuck.
I'm John. I'm Ryan.
I'm Brendon.
I'm Spencer. We are Coldplay.
What's up, MTV? How y'all doing? My name is Six.
Dude, you smell so slutty right now.
I said it makes me feel less lonely. What, are you laughing at me?
Hello.
We're here. Hello. What?
I have two cats named Dylan and Clover, and they are